to be involved in a program that lifts people's spirits up, especially when the year's been really tough for a lot of people. And I felt that this was very much in kind of my expression of opening our hearts. And I think the Good King Wenceslas story is the epitome of that. Here's a man who sees Christmas as not being complete until a young boy understands that the gift of Christmas is to give back and not to receive. And it's just also wonderful for me to perform to this beautiful music that Matt did, and to also have my other favorite medium, which is dance, happening all around me. It's all I can do to not be turning around and staring at them. They're just amazing, these dancers, and the costume designs and everything like that. It's just wonderful. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and I think this is a wonderful universal message of giving and receiving love.
I think it's the first time I've ever really done anything that was so well organized with volunteers.
Mm.
I don't think I've done anything quite like that before, and it gives it, honestly, I'm repeating myself, but it gives it a different feeling. Everybody who's here wants to be here.
Yes.
And it's really wonderful. Often, you don't have people running away from rehearsal. They're actually showing up early, and not every single person I've spoken to, whether they're working backstage, whether they're in the choir, whether in the orchestra, have a smile on their face and are enjoying what they're doing and really giving of themselves. And that is palpable, I think, and it is something that, for me personally, it helps lift up a performance to a higher level than it can often be.
People see and they hear and they feel, and it just gives a light to everyone. And to do it at Christmas time, this has become really the Christmas program. And we stop and think of this facility. 21,000 people. Will have about 84,000 people see it live. And then next year, 4 million people will see it again. And then the DVD and the CD that comes out. But it's really becoming a gift to the world.
One of the great things about this program that we do every year is that not only do we fill this hall 4 times, but it does indeed live on for really, actually, many years to come. I'm sometimes amazed to turn on the television at midnight at this time of the year and see a concert from 4 or 5 years ago that's still being played. Everything that we do, and particularly this concert, is done free of charge. Anyone entering this hall has not paid anything to come. It's given as a gift to the community, and again, through what we're able to do through these PBS showings, it becomes a gift to the country as well.
Well, I was absolutely thrilled when I got the invitation, and I didn't really know anything about it, but of course I did know something about the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. So, that in itself was something special to be able to see that and be a part of that. But I heard via my friend Michael York that this was one of the greatest experiences of his life, and he'd loved every minute of it. And Michael and I have worked together before, and I just thought, well, if Michael thought this was great, then this must be a great experience.
I was approached, and they sent, in a completely unique way, sent a couple of DVDs that were personal invitations. I thought it was very, Mission Impossible-like, which was very cool. But I thought, but what it told me was that this is going to be handled very well, incredibly efficient, because everybody's time. It's so, something this big to put together that quickly is a huge challenge. But I knew it would be handled well by the way I was actually invited. And then, I don't get that many opportunities to sing Christmas programs, and I love that music, and so it was an easy decision. I mean, don't tell them this is a secret, but I probably would have done it for free.
I think for me, I would say the King Wenceslas piece is really wonderful for me because, as I said, it's the dancing. They've got the dancers, we've got the choir, we've got the spoken word, amazing orchestrals, and it's all in one. It all just mixes together as one. And to do that live and to get everyone in on cue and out on cue is pretty spectacular. We have a little secret going as to how he makes sure that I come in at the right moment. Well, actually, so the thing is that I see a little monitor of him, and you know, as a conductor, this hand's doing this all the time. The other one is, you know, looking at people who are actually in the orchestra. But from my perspective on this little monitor that I see, when he actually points to the sopranos, it looks like he's pointing directly at me. And definitely, I don't want to talk on top of the sopranos. So we had to come up with a new technique where he actually just touches his mouth. Yes, so he's just one of those, and that means it's my time to talk.
I agree with Jane. I think the Wenceslas message is really a significant one. I mean, it's spectacularly, you know, well done with everything going on. But the idea of, you know, this king, you know, putting himself in front of where the page can't go on any longer, and so he says, "Stand behind me, and I'll walk in my footsteps." And he's given strength. You know, the king is given strength and warmth because he's giving and leading.
Christmas has always been about family for us. And I think the greatest part of Christmas for my husband James and I is when we actually go over the list of who we want to thank and how we're going to thank them. And we think about each individual person and what their year has been like and what we feel will make a difference in their lives. And I think, you know, the same, we do that with our children. It's how can you manifest change and what can you give that will make a difference? And as often as not, we've told our children it's not about the money you spend on a gift, it's the thought. And that there is no greater thought that can be given than to create something. So in our family tradition is we all make cards and we write what we want to say to one another, and so it becomes something very personal.
We invite our friends and neighbors over, like you do, and we sit around and sing Christmas carols, and found out that it's turned into a wonderful tradition. We really, really love doing that. But I agree also, because of all the traveling, there isn't such a focus on the gifts, I suppose, as maybe other people do. It really is more about the food and the smells and you know, getting something for someone that you really have thought about. The children also usually chip together to get one of their siblings something they really were, you know, hoping for, and it's about eating together and having, you know, my sisters come down who also have big families, and getting everybody together in that one period of time to just enjoy and be selfless, I suppose.